Our next question is what story has brought you hope in tough times? The story that most encourages me is the story of King David. It's in 1 Samuel 30. It's called the Valley of Ziklag. There was a time when David was on the run. He was being chased by King Saul, by the army, navy, the Marines, and he went into hiding in a cave called Adullam in the land of the Philistines. And in that place, it said God sent him all these people with problems. Wouldn't that be great? You have problems, and I think God sends you all these people with problems. But out of these people came mighty men of war. One man could kill 500 with his bare hands. I mean, God built this great army with King David, and to survive, they sort of were missionary, adversaries for hire, and they would go serve another king in another place with their army, and David did that often. And he was doing that at this time, went out to help the Philistines, when all of a sudden the Philistines felt that they didn't need help, so they sent him back. Well, when they returned at Ziklag, they found everybody was gone. All their women, all their children, all their possessions, and what was left was burned to the ground. And David and his mighty men began to weep. And there was great despair because everything that meant anything to them at all was lost. Even his men felt that, as people do, they always blame the leader, always blame the president. So they blamed David, picked up their stones to stone him. And David did something that's really remarkable. In the midst of all this despair, he went to his priest and said, "Let me have the linen ephod," which is an undergarment that the priest would wear. And he put that on as symbolic of wanting to enter into worship with God and begin to worship God. And it says in 1 Samuel 30 that he encouraged himself in the Lord. And then he asked the Lord, "What should I do? Should I pursue them? Should I not?" And the Lord answered, "Go pursue them and you will recover all." To me, the most important thing about that is no matter how much you hear from people to help you, no matter how many church services you may go to, no matter how many messages you may hear to motivate you, it really comes down to you to encourage yourself in the Lord. And the great news is the Lord is there. If you'll turn to him and pour out your heart to him, and David was the best at that, with his psalms and his songs that we still sing today, the Lord will answer. There's medicines today to try to pump people up, to help them. There's things today to try to get you going, but there's nothing better than just saying, "I'm going to encourage myself in God. God, I'm here to talk to you today, and I'm here to listen to what you have to say." And there's things of the Spirit and charismatic gifts that you can build yourself up, it says, in your most holy faith by the song of the Spirit, by the language of the Spirit. There's many things the Bible teaches about that. But mainly it's to decide. I'm not going to let what's happened to me stop me from letting myself be encouraged by God. He didn't say it's over. He didn't say it was finished. He didn't say there's no other hope. He said, "God, encourage me." And God did encourage you. If there's any message for anyone listening today, when you have a tough time, remember never to not turn to God. In your deepest despair, call out to him, and he'll answer you. He'll always be there for you, and he'll always have an answer in the midst of any difficulty, because he is a God that's the God of the last minute. He brings the answer. He's the God that turns things around when nothing like it can ever seem to be turned around. He's the God of, as it says in scriptures, the impossible, the angel said to Mary. He's the God that can do the impossible, and believe he will in your life as well. Amen.